Hey everyone, Dave Olsey here. This is video 3 in my series on building a profitable website. If you haven't done so already, you should really go back and watch the first 2 videos in this series. Each new video builds on the previous one, so if you're just joining us now, you'll probably feel kind of lost. Anyway, today we're going to look at our product reviews from a search engine standpoint, and we're going to look at the specific tactics that you'll need to use to get your pages ranking near the top of Google. Okay, that last statement was a bit misleading. We're not just trying to get our pages ranked near the top of Google, we want them ranked for the specific key phrases that people use when they're ready to buy. That's the difference between a profitable site and a site that just ties up a lot of bandwidth. Let me tell you a quick story. My first website was way back in 1999. I had been surfing the web for a few years prior to that, and of course was watching the .com boom, as we used to call it. And like a lot of people, I was working full-time but dreamed of one day owning my own business. Anyway, I signed up with a company called Net Sales. At that time, they were providers of e-commerce enabled online software stores. They handle all the back-end stuff like credit card transactions and digital delivery. It was my job to market the products. It was really kind of a glorified affiliate program, but I had a little bit more freedom to set prices and things like that. Anyway, I had learned a bit about SEO from some online forums and was ready to go out and make my fortune. Now, since my store was selling software, my first targeted key phrase was computer software. I took all the stuff I had learned about SEO and applied it to my site, and within a week I was ready to quit. See, the big search engine of the day was, believe it or not, AltaVista. And if you did a search for computer software on AltaVista, guess what would be returned in the top spots? Microsoft, Apple, Novell, and a bunch of other very well-known software companies. My little one-man shop didn't have a chance. And guess what? Even if by some miracle I was able to rank in the top spot for that phrase, I probably wouldn't have sold too much anyway. That phrase is just too general. It wasn't until I started targeting for specific product names that I finally made my first sales. Quick side note here. My store went live in June of 1999. My first sale was about 5 weeks later. I remember it was a Sunday night. I was just shutting my computer down and decided to take one last check of my stats. It was probably about the 15th time that I checked them that day. Anyway, I logged in and almost fell off my chair to see that somebody had actually bought something. It was a guy from Australia, and he had purchased a copy of WinFax Pro, one of the phrases that I had optimized for. I distinctly remember staying up for another hour writing this guy a personal thank you note. I mean, I poured my whole life story into the note. I think my commission on the sale was like $2.94, by the way. But the point was, I had made a sale, and that sale made the whole process real. Once I made that first sale, I realized this stuff really does work. Anyway, the lesson I learned here was that people who buy stuff online use the search engines to find specific products they're looking for. If they're in the market for WinFax Pro, that's what they search for. They don't search for computer software, then hope that what the search engine returns is a store that actually sells that product. The other point I learned is that the specific terms are actually much easier to rank for than those more broad general terms. So for our product reviews, we're going to be optimizing for the specific product names. If the product has a model number, all the better. We'll put that in there as well. Now keep in mind, not a lot of people are going to be searching for the specific product name and model number, but the ones that do are the ones that are ready to buy. This is what makes this tactic so powerful. Most affiliate marketers are using the typical keyword tools and will bypass these long-tail key phrases because they don't have a large enough volume of searches. They don't realize that it's not about how many hits you get, it's about how targeted those hits are. The bottom line here is relevancy converts. Okay, so here's a few quick tips for getting your posts ranking for those phrases. First, always include the product name and, if available, the model number in the title of the post. Include that same information in the meta title tag as well. Use that phrase about once for every 400 words of text in the post. Now always err on the side of readability here. Don't stuff an extra instance of that phrase into the post if it means the post becomes clumsy to read. And number 4, if after your page is indexed in Google it's not ranking, point a few backlinks at it with the product name and model number in the link text. Now these 4 tips above will get you ranking for a lot of different products. Alright, in the next video we're going to see how some of these techniques can be automated, turning your blog into a lean, mean product review machine. Thanks for listening.